everyone, and welcome to Rated FF Live, FF Today. We're still working out those kinks, but me and Russ, back in the saddle again. Tell them, Russ, we back, baby, we back. We ready to deliver that IDP goodness, baby.
Yeah, it's great to see you again and get on here and start talking a little bit of football.
I know that. Hey, I missed you so bad, but teeth fell out. Like, I don't even have teeth no more. I had to go get surgery done. About died. I was on the operating table. Bunch of stuff happened since the last time we talked. But hey, we're here. We're ready to talk some IDP. And as long as you keep away from them S's, like the safeties or sunshine, I can't say sunshine very good, but stay away from the messes, and we're gonna get them some knowledge. Russ, how you doing, brother?
Oh, not too bad. Just been hanging out and trying to get my mind back into things and start my own little series I had going last year with interviewing some people, and I was thinking about doing that again. So I'm sure I'll let some people know once I got some time set aside to do that throughout the summertime. I think it's pretty interesting to learn people on how they get into IDP leagues or leagues in general. Got them started. So pretty fun.
And that's a a kind of grand scheme of why we wanted to even make a show, Russ. I've had about 45 shows, been on about 75. I've had my hand in a lot of stuff, but we both love teaching people about coming up in IDP. When I started over a decade ago, I kind of just got through to the wolves. It was, here you go. Here's Mike Waller, Gary Davenport, and IDP with B, and go get them, buddy. And I don't know, I got Khalil Mack on the team. I'm like, ooh, watch out now, watch out. I didn't know that outside linebackers are squat in, linebacker-dependent leagues. I didn't know about roster construction. I didn't know there was a few more pieces that'll make it easier. Not saying it's complicated, because that's a general consensus. That it's complicated, it's too hard. I ain't got enough time. But whenever you get down into it, it can be just like your offensive leagues. Those little niches, those little loopholes that you use in your offensive leagues, we can use those in IDP leagues, and we can make everybody a better player, and we can grow IDP together. That's why we're here. So, hey, started the show league, and hey, we just covered a whole show. We're going over that draft. We got Joey the Tooth. We got B-Dub in it. We got you, B. We've got some brand new beginners to IDP. People that haven't never played IDP before and literally come to the message board and ask us, is this too early for IDP? And everybody in the league is good enough and is helping people become okay with IDP, that they'll just give them some good knowledge. Yeah, man, maybe a little bit too early. Maybe pump the brakes. Let's wait around until maybe that 4 or 5 turn to get that IDP. Unless it's that 101 Miles Garrett, then go ahead and get that bad boy. We'll get into that later, because I think Clowney's going to make him. Boop, 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 boop. I think Clowney's going to make him go crazy. If Sheldon Richardson did that for Miles Garrett, then no telling what a guy with the get off and the speed is going to do for Miles Garrett. I'm just so giddy. I got him as my 101 IDP. We'll get into all that later. I'm jumping the gun. Let's start out. Where can we find you on Twitter, Russ? We need to get them followers, just like I think Garrett's Production's going. We need to get them followers going up for you, Russ. So where can we find you on Twitter, buddy? And where is that YouTube page that you do that show at, brother?
Oh, at ClutchRuss72 on Twitter, and then IDP Fantasy Blitz on YouTube. Got a handful of videos, a couple of them are old, talking about some top 10, and then I got some last year's little interviews of talking to people about getting into fantasy football and what their thoughts are about IDP. And I got Mike Waller, and that's probably the biggest name people would know. I did a little interview with him, so that was a good time. Right. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that again this year.
Still waiting for my invite, but
hey,
we get there. We'll cross that bridge. I just play with you, Russ. I love you, buddy. I'm trying to share out this link right here. We're on YouTube right now, everybody. Me and Russ need to dig into them Patreon funds and get out something to pay for this StreamYard. Get that on up there. But I'm sharing this YouTube link. I want y'all to get in these comments. I want beginners. I want newcomers. I want mixed leagues. Russ, we're going to do it all for them tonight. I want this show. What a lot of people don't realize is that IDP, it don't make things more complicated. In my opinion, it makes you a better overall player because you can see what defenses do better against a run. If you have Blake Martinez in the New York Giants and you know that they run a 3-4 defense, meaning 3 up front, 4 linebackers, 2 on the edge, and they are real good against the run. You know the New York Giants like to stop the run. If you have Blake Martinez on your team and he's a tackle eater, and then you have that running back that's going up against them Giants in your other leagues that you don't have IDP in, you can go, oh, hey, in my IDP league, I know that Blake Martinez is going to go ham today. So I might, if you're choosing between straws, that might be a benefactor, in your other leagues. So I think it can make you a better overall player,
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. With that being said, also just you get to be excited about when somebody gets a sack or who gets an interception. You're looking at this TV screen. Is that my guy?
Yeah. Yep. Like like we've said from the jump. Why change the channel whenever you can just leave it on that football game and watch your linebacker give some tackles, But, everybody loves their red zone. Everybody loves all that. So I get it. But it's just more a piece of the pie. And we're here to try to share that wealth. We welcome, like I said, I see we got some viewers joining us now. Russ, watch out. We're going big time. We got some viewers. Get them questions in. Me and Russ can answer your Superflex questions, which is what we're going through right now in the show league. I'll get the share page brought up. We'll start talking about that draft shortly. But the IDP lets you further your game so much better, in my opinion, that it's something that everybody should try once. It's one time. If you don't like it, it's not your cup of tea. I get it. I'm not going to beat you in the head over about joining IDP. But if you just try it once, maybe throw some questions out there. Get your circle. Everybody has their circles that they talk to for fantasy questions, whether it's a tight end, whether it's what quarterback I should take, whether Trevor Lawrence is going to be good this year. Everybody has their group that they go to for those questions. Get your group together for the IDP. Get your little group together. We love talking. Matter of fact, we like that person looking through the window on that gift. You know what I'm talking about? We're like, hey, we won't play. Let us play. So what I'm saying is try it one time. And I hope today's episode kind of makes it a little bit easier for you if you do try it, of maybe when to take that IDP guy. Russ, we had an IDP go pretty early in a super flex. As a guy that's been playing over a decade, I don't usually dip the toes in that early, but we had to go early, brother. Any takeaways right off the bat from the show draft that started 2 days ago? Any immediate takeaways while I get it brought up here, buddy?
Oh, well, defensive wise, I know it was Devin White chosen number 1 overall. I don't know, for me, for being a 2DL that you got to start, I would probably say TJ Watt, just so I got a little more flexibility there. And you got sacks that are, 8 points, I think, for a sack?
8 points. I let BS go with it, and that's something. And another thing, right off the top, we'll talk about the scoring. We'll get into the scoring, like you just said, Russ. If you want to go over a little bit of scoring, I'd love that, so we can get in just to a little bit before we even start talking about the draft that we are fixing to talk about. I think we need to talk a little bit about the scoring, but that's one thing I like to do. I've been in so many dang leagues that has all these multiple scorings. That's why one standard scoring is never going to work for IDP. We can, and I'm not going to name any names, not going to throw names out there, but just we cannot raise a flagpole and have everybody try to come to this one standard scoring, because it's just like regular fantasy football. There's super flex. There's tight end premium. There's one QB. There's 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers. There's so many different scenarios that add to that scoring. We don't need to put just a one stamp on it. So I think we need to go over our scoring here. And what I like to do is just before we even push that draft button and kick that bad boy off, I like to hear different opinions. I like people to say, well, hey, I played in this league where we had crazy high scoring, and man, it was awesome. Every week checking your scoring, you in the 300s. That's why I said, hey, BS, Bearded Shotgun. Shout out to Bearded Shotgun. He has some Madden Sim leagues. He's always got a league going. So shout out to @Bearded Shotgun. Give him a follow on Twitter. One of the OGs from across the pond. Give him a shout out. He's good with scoring and setting up your IDP. I let him go with it. We had 8 points for tackles. Russ, if you want to get into that more, we need to talk about scoring right off the bat. Because would you agree? That's the most important thing whenever in joining any league. Anybody asks you anything about joining, that's number one. How many quarterbacks and what's the score, right?
Roster and scoring by far the 2 most important things, because like you say, if you're in 2 quarterback, well, now I want to know what platform am I playing on, because TJ Watt in the Yahoo, he's only a linebacker. TJ Watt in Sleeper, he's linebacker and DL. His value just increased just with that alone. So pay attention to a lot of those little nuggets there and kind of help you be a little bit better.
The fire!
But anyway, to do a little rundown here on our scoring here we got for the IDP part of things is 6 points for a touchdown, 8 points for a sack, only half a point for a hit on QB, and then half a point for tackle for loss, 8 point for interception, 10 points for every 10 yards, or 1 point for every 10 yards, excuse me.
How many points for the INT, Russ? How many points for the INT?
8.
Okay. All right. Pass deflection. How many points we got for pass deflection?
I do not, 4 actually.
4? Okay, I like that. I like that for your cornerbacks. I like that. And then let's go assisted tackle. How many points for assisted tackle?
That's 1.
Okay, 1 point for assisted. And then how points for that solo?
2.5.
All right, 2.5. All right, I'm going to get that scrolling across the bottom for everybody that's tuning in that might not know what's going on. I just wanted to get that rolling across the bottom. There we go. All right, carry on, my friend. Carry on. That's a main. I would say, Russ, excuse me to interrupt again, buddy. Would you say those ones that I have listed there is probably the main nucleus? I don't have sack listed. I need to get sack in there, but minus sack, those are probably the most. How much for a sack? 8?
8, yeah.
Okay.
8
all right, so let's do 8 for a sack. All right. QB hits, because I think that's a big one for the defensive tackles. I think you need to get QB hits in.
Yeah, that was only half a point. I was surprised. I thought it'd be a little bit higher.
But I mean, yeah, right.
Yeah,
you can't.
Sack, it kind of makes up for it.
Right. So a QB hits 0.5. Okay, so let's get that in there, and let's get that scrolling across the bottom and get these people in tune of what we got going on here in the show draft. So would you say that's the nucleus of when you join your first ever IDP league? Russ, are we missing anything in that bar that they need to look at immediately?
I would go tackle for loss. Oh, you got tackle for loss.
First one, brother, 0.5.
Yeah, INT. Yeah, I would say that covers it.
That's about our basis there.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody that's with us and everybody that may be listening to this on audio later, I'll hit it real quick. 0.5 tackle for loss. Tackle for loss. Look at that. 8 for interception. And you can kind of do what you want with the numbers and the points of interceptions and stuff, but I really want everybody to focus on the indicator, meaning tackle for loss, interception, pass deflection, assisted tackle, solo tackle, and sack on the QB. I think those are the main nucleus of what you need to look at when joining an IDP league.
Yep, for sure.
Okay. All right. So let's get down to the meat and potatoes of this bad boy, calling some people out. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was dog doodle. I didn't like this draft at all until these two last picks. Until that turn. And we'll get to that. But Russ, right off the bat, let's get into your takeaways. Let's just jump right in it. And I lied. I still ain't got the league brought up, but I'm doing that now.
Yeah, no, every time I get into one of these new ones, even though I've been in this for a while, I'm always curious how everybody else drafts. So I tend to really wait on the IDP side of things just because. I don't know why. That's just kind of a habit that I've gotten into. Granted, when I do my own little personal leagues and everything, I'm probably going to pick probably a round or two earlier than what I normally would, just depending on how it falls. Like, I'm not going to force anything. Like Derrick Henry almost fell to me for a third running back. Like, I couldn't believe that was happening, but there was a certain direction within that third and fourth round, and definitely the fifth round with Darren Waller. Had this not be a tight end premium league, I probably wouldn't have picked Darren Waller. But with that being said, I think he's got potential to be a number one or at least top three tight end. So especially with that little half-point bonus, that'll make up for me not picking a wide receiver yet.
Real quick though, Russ, what do you feel about the tight end premium? I feel like I needed to do it with all the moving pieces with IDP, the super flex. I feel like it's almost necessary whenever you're doing an IDP, super flex, big mixed league. I almost feel like that tight end premium is a must, brother.
You know, I don't know. I'll agree to disagree just because I've played in, because you can do two tight end premium two different ways. You can give them extra points for catching it, or you can simply start two tight ends. Well, that makes it tougher, and there's nothing like it seems like people are just adding things in there to try to keep things going. As far as
it's to keep tight end from becoming kicker.
Right, exactly. No.
Carry on, my friend. Carry on.
We don't have kicker, right? There's no kicker in this league,
oh
there?
God, you will never be in an Oklahoma league that has kicker. I do charity leagues, Hoodies for Hope, where we provide wood and shelter to people during the winter. Even those leagues don't have kickers. So back to you, Russ. Back to you in the studio.
No, I totally understand why people do it, and it is a different nuance to the game in your league or in your buddies or whatever.
Yeah, right. So, but to those that research it, put their time in, and are endless for kickers, no offense me. I get it. Do you, boo? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not judging nobody. It's just something that I don't know. I don't know.
You want to spice it up. That's all that is. It's just spicing it up, just like the IDP. You want to spice things up a little bit. Mix it up. So you get kind of bored doing the same old standard, simple. Well, I can barely score 100 points with my team. Now you join IDP with high scoring, and your team can score 300-400 points. Heck, you're Hoodies for Hope. Weren't they? They score like 500 points in that league. That league probably the highest scoring league I've been in, actually. Pretty craziness. But yeah, I'm been very curious. Well, that and then Tom Brady. I know I'm talking a little offense here, but after all the other quarterbacks that went off, there was Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Burrow, Murray, Jackson, Lance, Stafford, Mayfield. I mean, Jesus. And Tom Brady ain't picked. I get we're kind of doing a little bit of dynasty, but don't anybody want to win in the first year? Oh, there you go. Nice. Little visual for those on YouTube. Take a little peek. Oh,
All right. Well, I'm not getting sound from you, but I'm sure you're done talking. I'm gonna get sound back on. I know we got the share screen going on. Let me stop sharing real fast. We'll edit that out. We'll edit this out for you audio listeners. But you live people, you just getting some goodness. So let me get this fixed.
So your George Kittle and Sanders turn, you wasn't thinking anything defensively at that spot?
You got me, Russ?
Yep, I hear you.
They won't let me bring up sleepers.
Oh, no. Hey, here's a little tidbit. Can you still hear me?
There we go. We're back. We're back. We're back. You got me? Got me here, Russ?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, buddy. I still ain't got you, but I'm going to run with it here. All right, right off the bat. Hey, no, everybody that's listening to this right now, anybody that's listening to this knows that Oklahoma is a fan of Oklahoma. Can't be a fan of everybody else if you ain't a fan of yourself. So I'm going to start this bad boy off with saying I like what I've done out of the 112 spot. The 112 can be such a pickle back there in the back end because you have so many picks in between your next pick. You don't know what's going to happen. So it can always be something that you don't think you necessarily need, but it's something that is going to come up. So right here, you can see at my, that would be 1-2. At my 1-2, I go 2 quarterbacks. We're playing super flex. So I take Russell Wilson and I take old Aaron Rodgers there at that second because I got to wait. Let's count these picks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 picks, folks. 22 picks in a 12-team league before you get to even look at another player. In a super flex league, I like to get my quarterbacks locked up because whenever you're about mid-season and you look at that super flex spot and you got to put in a Rashard Higgins, let me tell you something. There's a feeling deep down in your gut that you just can't hold. You just can't hold. It's like you got to poo. But, you know, you took an X-Lax, but we'll get into that later. We'll get into that later. I had to have both my QBs for the super flex. I go back-to-back there. We come back around to number 3, 4. Tight end premium. I like 2 tight ends. I'm terrible at tight ends. I'm not good at tight ends, people. I'm not good. So I get the old faithful, the Niner Nation, George Kittle. I'll lock him down at 312. So now we got Russell Wilson. We got Aaron Rodgers. We got George Kittle. And then here is where I hate my damn draft because this are the running backs you're looking at this point in the draft at 4-1 right here. You're looking at Miles Sanders. You're looking at David Montgomery. You're looking at Antonio Gibson. These are guys that make my tongue sweat, like that feeling you get whenever you're at the 8th grade prom and the girl came over and said, would you like to dance? And you're not sure about it. You smell your armpits and you get all nervous and you get the meat sweats. That's how I feel taking Miles Sanders. But after I see the running backs after me go, I'm okay with that. We come back around for 5-12. I know I got to dip into that ID pool. Who do I see but Mr. Independent IDP asset Blake Martinez staring me right at the face at 5-12. This is a guy that's going to get 95 snaps year in, year out, and is not going to get anything below that. That's just how it is. He's not going to get anything less than 95% of the snaps unless he's hurt. Knock on this old particle board right here. That don't happen. Okay? Last, not least, at the 6-1 at that turn, I take Bobby Wags. This is a dynasty league, folks, and I know Wags is on the downhill. But whenever you've got a Ford that can't keep up with traffic on the interstate and a salmon who's trying to swim upriver who's been stuck in the same damn whirlpool with those Tyrannosaurus Rex arms running the middle of your defensive line, the linebacker is going to have to do work. Bobby Wagner would push 180 tackles this year. Put it on the damn board. I love me some Bobby Wagner. This year might be a reach for dynasty. I'm going to turn this thing off so Russ can talk and I can hear him. Here we go. What do you think, Russ?
Yeah, I definitely like your Martinez Wagner back to back. When it kind of sucked. I started off. I know I went 3 running backs in a row. I was just kind of letting it fall to me, and then I knew I needed to grab a quarterback. But once I got to the Darren Waller pick, right there was kind of the start of, okay, can I get lucky and get maybe a Wagner that comes back to me? And everybody's just going after the nice young toy, and it didn't happen. So I had to go with Cunningham. But I got him number 3 on my board. He's been Mr. Consistent. He's not flashy. He's not, he's not a real big name like everybody likes to chase. So
no more Devondre Campbell. No more Devondre Campbell.
Yeah. Well, was Christian Kirksey.
Kirksey signed with the Texans?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so he'll play what? So he'll play a couple of practices, then he'll get hurt. He'll be out half the season, play 1 game, then he'll come back. So, yeah, we ain't worried about Kirksey, though, are we, brother?
Yeah, what is Bernard McKinney or whatever?
McKinney.
Yeah, he's in Miami right now. Ooh. So, yeah, that, and then also you got Lovie Smith as the defensive coordinator there in Houston too. So little Brian Urlacher 2.0 maybe.
Okay.
Paired up that, and hopefully maybe he'll kind of run downhill and get some sacks. That was the other thing. Like, TJ Watt, he went in the 3rd round, which that's probably about right for him. Maybe towards the end or beginning of the 4th round, but that just kind of depends on how the draft's fallen. So people get excited when IDP leagues start, it seems like, and they want to get them early, which is fine, but just understand there's going to be people that just pick up offensive guys until their offense is full and then go to defense. So you're going to be
I'm glad you brought that up, because like I said at the beginning of the show, we have some literal beginners to IDP in this show league. And he came out and asked, was that too early for Miles? And I've done, do you still got it brought up? I'm not sure the exact pick, but what was it, 2nd round that he went with Miles? Or was it 3rd, Russ?
3rd round. The 3-4.
Okay, 3rd. So let's get in that just a little bit. I tend to normally wait a little bit longer with my IDP. I like to get, if it's a super flex, I like to get both of those quarterbacks. I like to get every down running back. And if it's tight end premium, I like to see if Mark Andrews is my cutoff. Like you got Kelsey, you got Kittle, and then I got Mark Andrews. And if I see Mark Andrews going, tight end's out of my mind. I'm gone. Bye. I'll take Noah Fant later in the draft. I don't even think about it. But
hey, if Aaron Rodgers was there, I'd definitely take him.
Right. And then so let's touch on, was it too early for Miles? And then I want to touch on the latest pick by Bearded Shotgun of that QB that he just took in the 5th round. I think we have to hit on that and how that value is just the bottom fell out of it. That guy is a 1st round pick 3 months ago. So is it too early for Miles? And talk about Deshaun Watson going in the 5th round, Russ.
No, Myles Garrett, probably not too early. Like I said, you're going to kind of pick and choose your battles there. He looks like he's probably going to go 0 running back from looking at what he's got going. He's got a quarterback.
Not much of choice.
But he picked up Pitts, which I get it.
I,
He's young. He's got Matt Ryan to throw the ball. So if they do lose Julio Jones, they're probably going to get more targets to him and Calvin Ridley. It'll be your passing game. So, I mean, like I said, he's probably looking to that 0 RB. And then Deshaun Watson, that's funny you mentioned that because when I picked Tom Brady, if you knew that he was going to play, that was who I thought about taking. And then I thought to myself, well, maybe people will be so down on him, and I'll try to get him in a couple more rounds, and he'll be my second quarterback. So, unfortunately, that didn't happen, but that could be the biggest steal in the draft, or at the same time.
Look at there, Russ. I got it. Can you see it?
Yep.
All right, we're talking about production value here now. Watch out. Watch out, big timers. We're coming for you, ESPN. Okay, let's find out where. Oh, look at that, Russ. 3-4, and this is one of our newcomers to IDP, Russ. This is Mr. Old Goldberg here. Real good guy, real humble. Not shy about asking us questions, and I love that about the guy. Shout out to Jay Goldberg. Give him a follow. 3-4 there for Garrett. And then right in front of him, though, we've got that was the first one taken. It is TJ Watt. And Russ, what did you say to lead these folks off? Look at what type of league you're in and make sure you see this right here. Russ, can you see this little booger picker finger right here? Do you see what we're circling here, Russ? We're going DL. Right. We do not want Mr. TJ Watt having this next to him. We don't want that, right, Russ?
Right.
So I love that point that you hit right off the top. So what you think, Russ? What do we got here? I see that you only got one quarterback going on here. What are you going Jimmy G here with your next pick? What are we doing, Russ?
You know what? No, I will probably not pick another quarterback for a little bit while longer. There's only a couple more that I feel like I want. The thing is, with being in a super flex, you can do that one of two ways. You can do it where it's a must-have that you've got to start two quarterbacks, or like this league, it could be a quarterback, a running back, a receiver, a tight end. So that was my thought.
You got to do it that way, right, Russ? Don't you got to do it that way?
I tell you what,
you don't limit a team starting. No offense, but Tyson Hill, last year, whenever we don't know if he's going to rush for a TD or if the dude's even going to take a snap, but you got to start him at QB because he's got that position tag next to him. Don't you got to make it super flex and not 2 QB?
Well, again, depending on your league, in a 12-team league, yes, absolutely. I run a couple 10-team leagues, and I do it so you got to start two quarterbacks, and that definitely brings a different dynamic, and especially throughout the seasons and injuries and the waiver wire, and that kind of gets a little spicy once in a while. So, I mean, obviously,
I hope y'all can all still see this screen. I hope y'all can all still see this screen. I hope every one of y'all can still see this screen and see me sliding in these DMs. This is what you got to do, folks. As a commissioner in these leagues, this is what you got to do. You got to step up and take control right here. See this? See this name right here, Russ? You got to step up and take control, brother. All right, back to you in the studio. Back to you.
No, like I said, in a 10-team league, you can run two quarterbacks and not have to have the all different position designation. But in a 12-team, I totally agree because if I ever do expand to 12 teams, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So that was my thought process. That's why I went with the 3 running backs because I figured I know me and I'm going to pick a lead quarterback.
I like it.
So yeah, that was my reasoning behind that.
Good point. So you stack. So I love that point. That's a great point, Russ. If you'll notice on this sleeper page right here, folks, Red means quarterback, green means running back, and orange means tight end. And we've got blue here as the wide receivers. Purple is your IDP. Okay, so just looking through this with your, hopefully you have color. What's that called if you can't see colors? Colorblind. Okay, moving on. If you're not colorblind, you can see the way that these Superflex drafts go. And I'd say this is about 90% of your Superflex drafts right here. This is 90% of them. Bam, 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 quarterback. And then you get into what kind of running back maybe slips up there. This is pretty much chalk through the first, I'd say, 2 rounds. You know, right here, Russ, we got B-Dub, the big homie, man. The only dude that jumps in my comments, one of my biggest supporters, man. I just love me some B-Dub. Najee Harris, Russ, 2.7. Yeah. Are you dipping your toes in the rookie running back pool at 2.7? Are you doing it? Oh, I see that is a Josh Goldberg pick. That is a traded pick there.
Yeah.
So we got Goldberg traded for that 2.7. That looks like it got B-Dub CD Lamb and some 2022 capital. Okay, so Russ, real quick. Najee Harris, 2.7.
I mean, I kind of like it as far as, I mean, this is a dynasty league. I think
you see what ruling with that iron thumb did right there? You see what that did right there, Russ? You got to scare them. See what I did right there? Look at that pick. You see? Let's go back to what just happened. Will you pick already? Hollywood. Okay? Let's go back. Bam! Okay? Bam! Hit him with that Emerald Lagasse. All right, back to you in the studio.
But yeah, I like it. I mean, that's a guy that I'm going to be looking out for here once some redraft leagues.
Najee?
Yeah.
You like Najee? Okay. So, James Conner, he just, I guess is he not alive no more or what?
He's in Arizona right now.
James Conner is. Okay.
Yeah.
Doug has some catching up to do on the offensive side, but hey, IDB questions come on. All right. Hey, B-Dub, you still there? I know we got one. We got one viewer, and it's either my wife or B-Dub. So, B-Dub, pick live on there, buddy. Come on, let's get it. But hey, we're at the 30-minute mark. I want to take a quick break, play a little music, Russ. And got to drain the main vein. See what these kids are hollering at. Probably something about Fortnite. One of them just unlocked the Beast skin. Shout out Greg Sipes, plays Beast Boy in all the comics. My homie Greg Sipes. Shout out. Go follow Greg Sipes. Go follow at FF Blitz. Most of y'all probably know at FF Blitz, Michael Sipes. But his brother is like my buddy, man, Greg Sipes. Go follow Greg Sipes. Kids are fighting over Beast Boy skins. Russ, I'm going to put some music on, and we're going to be back in 5. Okay? How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Flex on, Russ. Point that. Hey, and when we get back, we'll talk about why them damn them Cornhuskers don't want none of these boomer suitors, boy. They was like, nah, we don't want to play none of them boomer suitors. Okay, we'll be back. We'll be back.